Someday, maybe they will gain it back.
We're just dealing with one faction.
Well, maybe, unless some of them probably do work for the Keebler elves the same way that Vichy worked for the Nazis.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, probably not armed, though. I still think it would be great.
I got it. I figured it out. We go in, we talk to the elves, we hold up our hands, goes, "We're Jews! We're Jews!" Maybe
Super
they'll take
awkward.
us in.
Super awkward.
Yep. That's actually pretty inspired, I thought.
Super awkward, yeah.
Rocket scientists.
Yeah, there you go.
We're rocket scientists.
Yeah. Well, Freddie, tell them about the love of humans and stuff. Even from the Keebler elves. Tell them why the Keebler elves hate humans. Because you should know that. You were there.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's because, so you know Mildred? Do I need to go on, or?
Oh, you should. It's a good story.
Actually, that's enough.
Yeah. Here, this will make you feel better. I knocked Mildred's tooth out yesterday. Or at least my yesterday.
And you lived?
Yep. Oh, I knocked her out at the same time.
I'm going to memorialize you.
But so if you see Mildred missing a tooth next time you see her?
Oh, no, that goes back, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. Okay.
Can I make a military tactics roll to come up with something more cohesive as a plan?
Not really, because all the military stuff involves more than 3 guys. Usually, a good plan would be like have one of the units over here doing this, and a different unit moves in, and the planning is pretty much for you guys. But you should be able to come up with something. Like I said, the bulldozer, fucking stroke of genius there, and
the bulldozer or a front end loader is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if we're going to be giants walking in here, then we're each kind of our own unit.
How about no? But or if you wanted to make a giant reinforced car, it just won't work nearly as well as a tank or whatever, unless somebody gets really inspired with what kind of giant car thing they make with World War II tech.
That Clint Eastwood movie with the gauntlet, a bus with sheet metal welded on all around it.
Oh.
You know what we could do? We could A-team this. We could go and get a vehicle, like a van, like you said, armor it up, and then put a bulldozer or a plow on the front.
That might work.
Yeah, well, the landmines will be small in comparison, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be tiny.
Well, a van with a snowplow on the front or a bulldozer thing welded to the front of it would probably do the job.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It might not get us through landmines, but it'd get us at least part of the way through.
Well, the landmines aren't even your big problem. The big problem is you're going to be going through a lot of concrete and shit like that because of the city. Można. I actually understood that. Yeah, so
fly an airplane?
Yes, airplane. I'm telling you, parachuting your way in, it'll teach Marcus a valuable skill. Eventually,
I can pilot a small airplane.
Gliders.
Yeah, gliders.
Gliders could work. Yeah.
You thought you got your flashlight to work? Could you get a helicopter to work here? We land right on the front lawn, right next to the door.
We just get shot right out of the sky.
Yeah, actually, I'll give you a military tactics roll to know a different tactic here that I just thought of that is a military tactic that can be done with 3 people. Cool. Everybody looks around and goes, huh, cool. All right, well, there you go. See, I gave you a roll. Happy days.
Logan, how big would the buildings be compared to a car? If it would be a giant car.
Well, let's see here. Just imagine a, I don't know, 10-story building. So that would be 1/10 the size. So it would be like single-story buildings. So you need something that can pretty much go through single-story buildings that will be a lot, well, in some cases, a lot thinner, but still, it's big. You're going to be trying to get something, and I'm not sure if Mr. Plow would make it through a bunch of sticks of concrete with deep foundations and stuff.
Yeah, the bulldozer would be the best bet for that.
It'd be a better bet. Tank would be the best. Bulldozer, second place, I think.
Bulldozer. Sure, the bulldozer would be medium though, because if it's just 3 of us that can fit in it. Medium.
No, it's neither. It's operate heavy machinery. Bulldozer is exactly the kind of thing that a heavy machine is.
But you're driving it, aren't you?
It's a heavy machine.
Okay.
It's got all the machine stuff on it.
Okay, this is a one-way trip, right? I mean, we're going to get in and then we're going to trump out.
Hope maybe. It depends on what happens. You're hoping.
You might end up using the book to teleport out. Who knows?
Well, Freddie may caution against that if he's thinking right. Or then again, he may go,
You know, if we plan on an extraction that is not the way we got in.
Oh yeah, if you can give him half a minute by himself, Freddie can get you out. But in combat, half a minute is a while. Especially if they're bringing everything they've got to bear at you.
Okay, the landmine fields. Do I have any idea of how much space there is around the house that is not mined?
That's not mined. Most of the city isn't mined, I don't think. There may be a couple buildings where somebody...
Around the objective.
You're not really sure. You don't know about minefield density or anything like that because they didn't put up any signs. They just said, warning, landmines. There could be no landmines in there and they just put up the signs to keep people out. Or it could be as densely mined as the border between North and South Korea. You have no idea. In fact, you could hit one mine, flip up, fall over, and then hit several more, especially if you're big. If you're big, that means you get lots of landmine potential. One footstep. Each step will definitely hit at least one mine if you're fucking 10 times the size you're thinking.
I keep feeling like Oliver walking into the World War II zone.
Yeah. It is the World War II zone.
This is exactly the World War II zone, yeah. I mean, it's possible if you wandered around today, you did find some places where you could kill some Smurfs and like take their tank, but then if you were to take it back, it would be a really small tank. You'd be like, hey, look, we got this little tank and it actually runs.
Well, no, we take that tank, shadow walk it out. Is it still a small tank?
Probably.
Yeah.
There's definitely some sort of weird magic that happened when you went through the shipping container.
Yeah.
And no, the tank could not fit through the shipping container. It's just not the shipping container.
Yeah.
You get a car in here, barely, but then it would crush everything else, like the cots and stuff. Possibly you know.
sounds like a bulldozer is the best bet, really.
No,
Yeah, it is.
I put it third best bet.
So what's the second one first?
Well, the first best bet for
Second.
getting in clean, that was the military tactics roll everybody failed. Second best bet would be a tank or an Imperial Walker. I'm not going to let that off the table. Third best bet, bulldozer, because you just don't know, because they have something called tank teeth. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
They're just so you know, they're about waist high, and they're just little things of fucking concrete. Those stop tanks. And those are just like these buildings, except the buildings are hollow. So you might be able to crumble with the tank, possibly with the bulldozer, although a bulldozer would go a lot slower than a tank, especially if you got good modern tankers. Maybe a few shooting up the buildings and stuff, watching the bodies fly out. Oh shit, there's going to be a lot of cold-blooded killing involved, you're pretty sure. But
yeah, if we get a modern tank, we could cruise through there at like 50 miles an hour.
That would definitely get you there quickest.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't really assume that an Abrams is going to work here.
Yeah.
Well, Freddy's might be able to get it to work. Anybody else, I would definitely put it as a big maybe. Although if you ever figure out your military tactics stuff, then I'll tell you your first best option, but Marcus would not like that option at all. Guaranteed. The first best option gets you in without potentially killing anybody.
Yeah, it's
except Marcus. Marcus would probably die. Everybody else, though, no cold-blooded killing.
It's parachuting, we know.
Oh no, it's not just parachuting. It's Halo parachuting.
Oh, for fuck, no.
What?
No.
Just because it's the most dangerous kind of parachuting. Well, second most dangerous. A Lolo is the most dangerous I personally know of.
I mean, they're still gonna shoot us when they see us in the sky. No, bad.
You're going to be falling at close to terminal velocity, so you know the chances.
We're gonna be Godzilla size.
In Godzilla suits.
No, we're not. Parachuting is a bad idea. No.
This is just a perfect place to try it.
Screw your idea, no.
Okay.
I still like the Imperial Walker, but
yeah,
you know.
I'm going back to the Imperial Walker then for my first favorite. That'll get you in here with the least amount of civilian deaths, because it'd be like unless one of those little bastards gets a fucking shoot and shoots it up and gets their lightsaber as they come up. Yeah, then that's bad for you.
Keebler lives don't matter.
Are you saying elf lives don't matter?
I am.
Oh man, everybody hates the elves. I'm not saying the sanity loss would be as high as humans, but you know they are technically the good guys.
All right, so everybody here hates humans.
Well, they hate giants, but yes, humans. Yeah, they do.
So maybe we can appear as something other than humans.
How good are you at disguise?
I don't know, some rubber monster hands and a mask. And a
Do you think they'd hate that less than humans?
I don't know.
I'm giving Freddie a card.
Imagine for a sec, you're in a city, and they have a Godzilla living in the middle of the city. They hate the Godzilla. Then some other random giant crab appears out of nowhere.
Not my proposition.
Well, I was thinking we could get Smurf suits and be in his giant Smurfs, but that would probably get us killed.
While we're still small,
Oh.
use some sort of disguise to at least obscure our humanity. Oh, the humanity!
Yeah, I'm not very good at disguising. If you are.
No, not particularly, but how good does it need to be? It's not like we're trying to fool them into thinking we're Smurfs. Just something not human.
I think we might get a lot of looks, though. Draw a lot of attention. Like, oh, what the fuck is that thing?
We could use the budding costumes to initiate contact with, say, Smurf Underground, and then they, that's a little problematic there, but, maybe we could work something there. And then have a Smurf generated distraction on a cube.
They're still very inept. We need a...
That's even better for a distraction, isn't it? All we need is...
In a way, yeah.
The sole criteria, it doesn't need to be good. It does need to be well-timed. That's about it.
Why would they... Okay.
Signal, and then they do their thing. And
why would they listen to us?
Because they hate the bad guy in the house.
All right.
And we're offering to take him out, which we may or may not do, but it'll look like we are. That's better than us screwing around trying to make a distraction, right?
True.
You may be able, through a couple of sessions of hard play and following leads and stuff like that, to be able to make safe contact with the Smurf Underground.
A couple of sessions? I'm considerably more rapid than that.
Well, so are the Keebler elves, but here we are.
Oh, for fuck's sake. A bulldozer isn't considered primitive, is it?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Damn it. Does anyone want a plus 20 drive primitive vehicle?
I can't think of a primitive vehicle to drive. Can you?
Well, it could be anything primitive, like parachute. No, parachute's modern. Horse.
Primitive parachute. Yeah.
A big umbrella. A fucking Chinese umbrella made in the BCs, because they're the first ones.
Okay, wait a minute.
Can you dump a bunch of cattle in here? We'll start a stampede.
Wow, if you had full-size cattle and shit, that would be something.
Well, that would be a distraction.
Yeah, unfortunately, Freddy doesn't have his walk army through shadow to targeted location skill up yet.
Yeah,
if he did,
I don't want to. If we did,
Yeah, it'd be totally different,
Yeah, well, all the players figured, when am I ever going to need to walk an army? And so everybody literally ignored that skill.
Yeah.
Well, we could bring a bag of cats.
We can't shadow walk more than 3 living things with us.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You made your camera all blurry by getting up and wandering around. It's now trying to figure out why you're...
Oh, wow. That is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yep, good. I'm sticking with Jeff's idea. Oh, and I even have the different sizes of Imperial Walkers. So the normal one looks to be around 20 meters tall. So for these guys, it would be absolutely, you'd literally be stepping over buildings or perhaps onto them, because you're not able to drive it right and stuff. So yeah, you could totally fucking do that. And yeah, they may even be able to 3D print one for you in Guri. The problem is that the cost would be pretty fucking high.
3D print and AT-AT.
Oh yeah, oh no, they can 3D. Guri is the super high tech zone. They had a fucking Firefly spaceship 3D printed for them, and they're like, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Oh yeah.
That'd be easy. If we had that, we just make a ship with, a spaceship with shields to deal with that.
Yep.
Right.
Or if it's a one-way trip, you just fly in the spaceship, basically crash landed into the house, pop out, grab your shit, jump out, you're good. They blow up the spaceship. They'll probably take out the house and part of the city with it. And then the guy who actually owns the spaceship, the PC, will be fucking livid. Which is a bonus as far as I'm considering.
I think we should just try the. Even getting the bulldozer is going to be a pain. I don't know how much that's going to cost. But
You could go get one and then just try driving it around and see if it can take out stuff, like big things of concrete and shit. He doesn't look fucking confident in this.
Yeah, I think so far. I like the distraction idea.
Oh yeah,
I just don't know how we're gonna time it so that when we arrive, it'll boom go off. And I don't think we have enough rapport with either of the two factions to say, hey, distraction, please.
You're thinking that a human in a rubber mask is still not going to be loved here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think bulldozer is our best bet, really.
Second best, third best bet.
Yeah, third best. Well, yeah. We can try and get some smoke grenades or something to obscure their vision once we arrive. Just chuck it out of the bulldozer, create a bunch of smoke, so it's hard for them to see us, or something along those lines.
We'd probably want to bring an awful lot of smoke grenades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that'd work, but I think we ought to have a lot if we're going to do that.
Yeah, and they're not even going to work. Never mind.
And they're not even going to work. I like that.
Yeah. Any tech, any post-World War II tech, you need to exert your will in order to make it work. And you need to be holding on to it.
Smoke shouldn't be past World War II.
If we get them from Sherma, they will be. Which is
not if they're army surplus.
You and your army surplus.
I'm just thinking that's the easiest way to get World War II stuff was to go army surplus stores.
I don't know what the laws are, but do they just sell them to civilians?
Well, it depends on what it is. I mean, they don't sell like hand grenades to civilians or anything like that unless they're defused.
What smoke grenades? Flashbangs? Do they sell those?
I have no idea. I've actually never been in there to one. But if we're going to do that, another option would be just to get smoke bombs, like you were as a kid, that you just light and throw.
Well, yeah, I got a bunch of those, really. Well, like firecrackers.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like kind of mini grenades almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a firecracker would be like throwing dynamite at buildings.
Yeah, it literally would be. Like just fire, yeah. And they will definitely work because it's firecracker.
Mortars.
Mortar would be a hell of a distraction. What was that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course, if you don't have the mortar skill, just so you know, this is about how well smoke grenades work. This is a picture that they've got from the demonstrations back in 2008 in Paris, where they let off a lot of them. And I want you to imagine a 10 times the size bulldozer in the background.
Yeah, and 10 times the size smoke.
Yeah. So it'll end up being like, look, I can see it through the smoke. Or, I mean, the smoke grenades are not like, oh, movies, we are completely blinded by the smoke. It helps. CS grenades, you can get those for World War II. That's even worse. But then if they have gas masks, then Now, I'm not saying you won't be able to incapacitate a large amount of the civilian population here, but mortars would definitely fire. If you had a big size mortar and knew how to actually use it, nobody has that skill. That would devastate the fuck out of this place. Because even though you're going to get a bonus to hit of like plus 30, you're still going to be wildly incompetent with it if you're learn plus 30.
That sounds like good enough to me.
Shows it going straight up. Everybody's like, run, run. Ah. Everybody's like, I'm totally distracted by those giant humans blowing themselves up. Look at that. Give me the binoculars. Oh, my smurfing god.
All I keep thinking about is Bill Murray.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of as well, because you guys have about that level of skill. So, yeah.
Yep.
I like it when the players come up with all these cool plans, but they always involve skills that their characters are like, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, what skills? Let me see. I had demolitions, I had... The computer's not gonna help. I have trapping. It's not gonna help either.
So
Yeah. I mean...
unfortunately, at your current skill level, because the plans are brilliant, but they involve things you have no skill at, so you are at approximately, just to give a general visual on the skill level, you're at approximately this skill level near the discard pile. The picture should appear with the different things that you'd mentioned and whatnot. It'll just take a moment to load in. There it goes. There's about the skill level you're at right now with many of the things that you mentioned. So, yeah. Oh, look at his little face.
I don't know where we're at on the chemical attack. I figured out that they have gas masks, but how about biological?
like what?
Bring a plague into town.
That would be a good way to get your cold-blooded killing insanity maxed out in quick order. I'm very supportive of that.
Yeah, but that would also affect us.
Yeah, that is a issue.
Maybe, but we can go get help. They can't.
I need a plague, please. I'd like to buy one plague. This is the army surplus store, right? Give me a plague.
You spent one adventure with Mildred, and you're already like this.
Freddie brings a good point that is disturbing.
Anthrax is pretty wildly contagious, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
Why don't we just get some zombies and have them bring them in here a couple at a time and just let giant zombies attack?
Oh, yes, let me just go to my zombie storage unit.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Mildred's.
Shit, my other Lumpsy character, that just let one zombie rampage while they discovered non-magic weapons don't do shit against it. Just rampage your ass if the magic holds out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think...
I'm keeping this picture.
I think firecrackers might at least be somewhat useful. Maybe it'll certainly blow up some stuff.
What? Firecrackers from us?
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, actual dynamite. Yeah. Oh, giant sized dynamite. Holy shit.
Yeah, we could blow up a city block with that.
Yeah. The only problem is that pretty much it's like round one, like dynamite. Round 2, throw dynamite. Round 3, pull out new dynamite. Round 4, light dynamite. Round 5, throw dynamite. See what I mean? Not fast.
Yeah.
Assuming you've got the lighter and an open box of dynamite next to you. I'm making that assumption as opposed to it's in my backpack or something like that. And of course, if I've got a lighter and an open box of dynamite next to me, and when you light it, it doesn't just burn normally, it goes and makes all the sparks and shit. I don't know about you, but for me, having the sparks going off next to the open box of dynamite would alarm Logan a lot.
You know, they got away with it in westerns.
Yeah, that was the movies. I watched a movie where a guy was literally carrying around nitroglycerin strapped all over his body and riding a motorcycle on dirt roads. I'm thinking he would have blown up a while ago.
Well, do you want to hear a nitroglycerin story?
Okay.
I could tell you.
Okay.
My dad, when he was a kid, was in private school in Maine, and the building was the original building that was built at Plymouth Rock.
Okay.
That was school was in. Anyhow, he was on the second floor, and that's where the second floor was where the students stayed.
I should ask, is it short stories so they can get back to planning, or?
I'm going to make it pretty short. Underneath him was the chemistry lab. Well, in chemistry, they had a teacher that loved to talk about nitroglycerin and how to make it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had somebody like that in my life when I was a kid as well. Bathtub nitro for the win.
Also, my dad was studying that night and heard rustling down in the lab below him in the chemistry lab. So he went down to see what was going on. And there were two kids in there, underclassmen. You know, my dad was a senior. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, we made some nitroglycerin." And they had one of those big tube things filled to almost to the top with nitroglycerin sitting on the table.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you going to do with that?" He goes, "Oh, we're going to blow up Plymouth Rock." Oh, that's definitely enough to do it. How are you going to get it there? We're going to walk it over. I see. And then how are you going to get it to Plymouth? How are you going to detonate it off? We're going to throw it at it. My dad's like, no, just leave that right there. And he made them go outside and shovel up a bunch of dirt because dirt neutralizes it. And they ended up burying it outside in the yard instead of blowing up Plymouth Rock because they could have blown up the whole building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I never recommend playing with nitro and shit.
No. That's why when you guys were talking about demolitions the other day, I was like, no, I don't want to make nitro.
You can ask Freddie about his in-game story dealing with nitro.
Let's talk about it some other time.
All the evil shit that's done to him, and not even by me. No.
Okay.
Well, you do know where you can get a whole bunch of dynamite at reasonable prices, like $1 a stick. You know.
Yeah, we can get dynamite easy.
Oh yeah.
It's
super
just
easy.
using it without blowing ourselves up.
I can't guarantee that part. Especially if you've already thrown your stick and you hear it, and you're like, that's not the noise I want to hear.
Well, if I'm going to be driving the bulldozer, you two are going to be throwing dynamite. How
This
confident
did not
do you feel
go
doing
at
that?
all.
Or do you want to stick with firecrackers?
I wanted mortars.
I'm afraid we don't A, know where to get some, and B, afford them.
You can actually make your own mortar. You just, never mind. Of course, that's
I was going to say,
dangerous.
we made something like one when I was a kid. They shot tennis balls with it.
Yeah,
Potato cannon.
sure.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah. There's all kinds of neat shit you can do, but, anti-aircraft guns are your big concern. I mean, even if the rifles don't do that much, assume that everybody. It'll be just like flying a plane over Vietnam or these days in New York City. Pretty much anybody with a gun just is going to be taking pot shots at you and shit. Unlike a plane, though, you're much closer and much larger. Well, not much larger. You're much
what
closer.
we're going to
much
be doing
stronger.
is if we take dynamite, is we're going to be throwing it at anti-aircraft guns and stuff like that that are going to be pointed at us.
Yeah, that should definitely fuck up, if not the gun, whoever's on the gun.
Yep, exactly.
That's the
But
important bit. Yeah.
you're also assuming that you've got big windows to throw it through, which means they'll have big windows, huge windows to shoot through.
Right, or else we would have to be on the outside of it.
That's even worse. I don't see that going at all well.
Yep, I don't either.
No, I don't.
If we're going to do,
I'm going to say, I'm still convinced light aircraft, right? Freddie pilots it over because once it's here, he's like, fuck it, I don't need this anymore because they have plenty of aircraft during World War II. Everybody just jumps out and tries like hell to hit the fucking small target. And it's kind of almost a ring. It's like the roof, and then the bigger ring is the landmine field. So you don't want to be off on your parachuting, right? Because you may just end up in the landmine field. And then off from that is the city. So.
Hey, I forgot to mention, I did not record hero points from our last adventure.
I don't remember how many it was, so just add 3 because that's always the base.
When did you last play?
Yeah, I don't know how many the award was.
If it was me and you and Jess, then I think it was 3. Yeah, it was 3.
There you go. Freddie's got the memory. I always tell people, keep track of your hero points like you're keeping track of your energy and life force of your character, because it's literally that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have been distracted because I actually don't remember that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well,
what we could also do is get some of those. Maybe don't even need that. If we just get rifles.
I was just going to say that too. Just get rifles.
Yeah.
Because a bullet 10 times the size of normal, that would be like an armor-piercing thing that could really fuck things up.
What armor are we trying to pierce?
Well, no, just the anti-aircraft things.
Yep, we could take out anti-aircraft guns.
Well, if you're on an airplane or something like that and shooting down, then you'd be able to see them.
Otherwise, we're not doing the airplane.
They're within the city and stuff, so you're going to be playing hide and seek with rifles versus anti-aircraft guns.
Wait, hold on. Can they even shoot us if we're on the ground?
If you're that big, yes. If they crank it, you can crank an anti-aircraft gun down. There was a story of a World War II guy who was sprinting between A and B because he'd just taken out like an entire unit of Germans by himself or something like that. And he's like, I got real impressed when they started targeting me with their anti-aircraft guns. So yeah, you can literally crank it down to fire like a big fucking rifle. And yeah, he actually survived it. How? I don't know. I figure he had a lot of hero points or something.
All right. So theoretically, if there is a Halo thing here, how many hero points am I going to be spending to do that?
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, how good are you parachuting?
It's base skill.
Yep, mine too.
What I'm trying to say is, how many rolls is that? Don't shrug at me. How many rolls are we talking about?
Oh, to do the parachuting and stuff?
Yeah.
I would just have one roll. One roll.
Yeah, one roll, but you need to succeed.
Yeah, and it'd be a lower is better because, if you barely succeeded, then you might be in the minefield or you might be on the house. And, if you fail, then you might still be in the minefield or in the house, but the parachute not opening. Or, there's going to be one big roll, but you're going to want to make it low. The good news for you though is if you've only got like a 10% parachuting skill and you're at half, that's only a -5. So you can counteract that with a +5 card and be back up to full skill right there. So it's easy. For one roll.
The problem is, don't think any of us can pilot a plane.
Oh.
Nope.
Sorry, I assumed somebody learned planes by now.
No.
Okay. See, it's all Freddy's fault. Anything that goes wrong, Freddy's fault.
Well, if
So
we get
here,
the bulldozer and firecrackers and rifles, maybe we have a shot.
Yeah,
The bulldozer firecrackers.
even if a whole box of firecrackers went off next to you, unless you're using fucking M80s or some shit, is not going to be a huge. It'll be uncomfortable. It'll be alarming, but it won't be deadly.
Right.
I mean, even if we just throw the entire box at them, it'll be something. Don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, M80 would be the way to go for that.
A whole box of M80s going off near you would be like having several sticks of dynamite go off next to you.
yeah,
Yes, it would. I've actually seen that happen. So
yeah.
I watched the guys light off a whole box in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what's an
Big
M80?
bada boom.
What's an M80?
It's a quarter stick of dynamite.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, why didn't we get those then?
Those would be actually harder for you to get than full sticks of dynamite, and cost more, ironically.
Yeah, that would probably be true.
But more than $1 each. I think you can pay $5 or $10 for a M80 and shit in modern day. And they definitely don't make them in cowboy days because we got fucking dynamite. We don't need no quarter stick of this bullshit.
What if we get 4 sticks of dynamite, 2 for each of you? So that way we don't have an entire box of them. That can go disastrously wrong.
Oh, it won't go wrong with 4 sticks, though. Oh, wait. I know one of them has demolitions. Does the other one have any demolitions?
I have a tiny bit of No, I don't have any demolitions.
I don't
Alright,
recommend
you're not
giving this
doing
to
it.
Wallace anyway.
You're on rifle duty. Push will be on dynamite duty. And I'll be trying to drive desperately.
All right. What kind of rifle can you get me?
I think the one you have now. Wait, do you have one now?
No.
I have one.
Oh, yeah, just use.
I haven't brought it with me to this place, but I have one.
I can get you a modern day rifle, but
Also,
I wouldn't recommend.
keep in mind with the bulldozer, you're going to be going at pretty much a crawl because you're going to be trying to like bash these all the buildings and shit out of the way with the scoop. So you'll be shuffling forward pretty much.
No, not really. We just take the streets. You'll just be pushing cars and things like that.
How wide do you think these streets are? I want you to imagine a bulldozer 20 times the size or 10 times the size trying to go down a city street.
It would its own road.
That's why I'm saying that's why he'd be going at a crawl because he's going to be using the scoop and trying to bash the big concrete buildings out of the way.
At least take good chunks out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need something you can sit in and take a lot of directed fire for a long time. Honestly, with the level of planning you've got combined with the lack of skills you've got, you would almost be better off streaking naked toward the building as giant people. Possibly Godzilla suits. If you got armored Godzilla suits, that may actually help.
You have no idea how tempted I am to just walk the pattern and go there and fuck off.
Oh, well, shit, that's much easier there.
So I'm reaching that point now.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
super
fuck
easy.
this. I'm walking the pattern, appearing right next to the book, grabbing it and fucking off.
I don't know why you didn't come up with that at first. I didn't even think of that.
It's less badass.
It's totally less badass, but you don't have the skills or a lovely tank.
I mean, I was hoping we would, but
Or better yet, a fucking Imperial Walker.
it's sounding more and more like we need to just walk the pattern.
You need the futuristic,
And by we, I mean me.
large land.
Well, if that's what it takes to get it done, because I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, if we had someone who could actually drive competently the bulldozer, I'd be down. But I'm at less than a hobbyist right now at driving a bulldozer.
Yeah.
And by the sounds of it, it'll take us at least, if we're lucky enough to get near it, at least a few minutes to get to the house,
Mm-hmm.
at the very least.
I was thinking an hour, but sure, a few minutes.
Yeah, if we're lucky,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Oh, super
If
lucky.
we're unlucky, hours.
Yeah. With a tank, though, just a couple minutes. I mean, like, fuck your civilization. We have modern Abrams.
All right, fine.
But yeah, I agree. It's totally less badass, but I gave you a card for coming up with a pattern because, yeah, it's super easy.
Super easy.
Compared to what all the shit that we were talking about, yeah, you've got
Yeah.
to make 3 rolls, appear next to it, and go, fuck you, and possibly punch out an old guy, kick a cat, and he's done.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we're doing that. I can't be asked anymore.
That's the most British thing he said all day. Can't be asked. Which, as a phrase, makes no sense because obviously you were already asked, but now you can't be asked.
Okay, fine. Let's leave this. Grab a. Well, we don't need to grab anything. Put the bunny suits back where they were. And
Well, if you're going to use the tunnel, you definitely want your cold weather gear.
yeah, we'll put on the cold weather gear, go back out and jump.
We didn't talk about tunneling yet.
True.
Tunneling.
I'm giving him a card just for being contrary. It's fucking beautiful. Shows a big old tunneling. Like you guys end up stealing the tunnel thing, you know.
It did actually cross my mind.
You gave it
But
to me and not him. The
Shit,
card.
I'll give him a different card.
I'll
then.
trade it to him.
No, I'll just hand him another one. There you go.
Are you gonna make it red this one?
No, you can keep it for the walker. I still like that idea.
All right.
Oh, Levin, the card you gave him. Just a big fuck you.
Which one was it? Bulldozer plus 20?
No, gun maintenance.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, we get dressed. I'm fucking done.
All right.
Let's find
Everybody
it.
who didn't make a check in Essence before, when you're leaving, you can all try Essence times 3. If you already got check in Essence, then you don't need to. But if you're wanting to check in Essence, you can try rolling the times 3 button next to Essence to get a check in Essence because you're going through, ooh, I'm getting bigger, the ground's getting further away. Woo!
My gunsmithing skill is not real high. Would somebody like to maintain my gun for me, please?
Mine's not very
Is your
high
gun
either.
even on you right now?
I didn't specify that I was bringing it, but I normally bring it.
I kind of, well, if it's broken down in your backpack, otherwise you would have gotten picked up by a patrol. Guys, they don't like bunnies having guns. They don't like anybody having guns except them. They're very racist. But is now the right time to sit down, disassemble your gun, and work on it?
Yeah, we can always get you another gun if it's not working. There's literally an entire zone you can go and pick one up for free. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. I'll have to do that. I don't have one.
Marcus, get rid of one of your cards to get down to 4, please. And anybody who didn't already get a check in Essence, hopefully you did. You guys go out, get big, get cold, and get trumped. Go ahead and, where's your trump card? Oh, the cave again?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me your luck roll to see if that shit still works, or of course it fucking works. All right, so Mr. I can make a trump work even if you repaint the fucking house it's in. Takes you guys over to the cave. As you go around the laser cave, Marcus continues grumbling about his broken gun, and you guys head over to the green dome. Midget Butler opens the door and bows. You guys go and ignore him. You go over to the big chair, and then Frey sits down in a chair and goes, I am number 20. And then he pushes the button. You guys go down number 34, I think it is.
Yeah, 34.
Looks annoyed at you. And agents are wandering around and doing their things, but they don't mess with you. And a couple even nod at Freddy in passing.
Freddy's like,
And then you guys get down to the big pattern and stuff, and you're all just, and then you get off the thing, and then you watch Freddy, and he goes over, and he's like, "Fuck you, pattern, I'm going to risk ultimate and permanent death in order to avoid driving the bulldozer." What?
Wait.
No.
There's one more thing I need to do.
No. Hey, Freddy. Actually, hey, everybody, give me a spot hidden roll. Something's different.
Yeah.
One of the lines of the pattern looks like it's kind of been erased and it's not there anymore. Like just a little bit of it. And so it looks like it'll be something you're going to have to do a big step over, which given the pattern stuff will make it a little harder to walk, and you're not sure what caused that. Why is it missing?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Did we not fix the building properly?
Pardon?
Okay. Can I roll shadow roll?
Sure. Make it really amazingly well.
You guys can do the same, by the way, if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever lore it was that you said, I'm going to do that too. Not
Cool.
that I know anything about whatever it is.
No, I have no idea. Okay. Alright. I need to, before we leave, Mr. Wallace.
Yeah.
Mr. Wallace, could you give me your trump so that I can
Sure.
come back to you? Thank you.
Mhm.
Also, I'm gonna go quickly pick up my cow armor, because if I'm gonna be going there and there's potential fighting, I want to be ready. So I'm gonna just quickly jump over to the gold mortal.
Okay.
Here's the luck roll.
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
okay. Go there, grab the armor, put it on, jump back to Mr.
Right.
Wallace.
Hold on a second. Let me check something here. It's right where you left it, although you did hear a couple of guys going, "I think I should wear the cow armor. I think you're just going to get into trouble if you fuck with the cow armor." And then you storm past, put on the cow armor, and trump over to Wallace.
Alright.
Because, yeah, they like to try on your guys' stuff sometimes.
Alright, now we're there. I'm ready.
So it's Campbell.
Okay. Now, I don't see much point in me trumping you guys over to me. Once I get there. Unless you really want to come with. Because I'm literally just going to go there, grab the book, and come back.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
perfectly fine. So,
But if
you
I'm
want
in
it with
trouble,
us, that's fine. But I don't
if
care.
I'm in trouble, I'll call you and pull you through so you can help me. So
If
you
I'm
should be
in
ready.
trouble and have an extra 30 seconds, I'll call you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Is with you. Because if something goes drastically wrong, 30 seconds is a long time.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, I can't take you with me.
Unless they all walk the pattern. If everybody
Unless
chooses
they
to
all
walk the
walk.
pattern, despite the weird broken area,
Yeah.
which is concerning you. You suspect that one of the RPCs probably had something to do with this, and you suspect that they did it knowing that you might want to use the pattern.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. It's just a
All right.
small break.
Fine. Yeah. The only way I can bring you with me is if you all walk the pattern. And I wouldn't recommend it. What's at your level?
I was going to say, actually, if they do, if it's only the second time they've ever walked a pattern, they will unlock one new pattern ability if they want to, but it's freakishly dangerous.
Yeah, but it's the same pattern.
Oh, good
Or
point.
does it count as
Yeah, you need
different?
a different pattern for that.
Yeah.
There are multiple patterns in the world, though.
Yeah. Okay. No more time wasting. Let's go.
Okay.
I step on the pattern. Let's go.
All right. You step on the pattern. What is your strength?
It is 88.
88. So call it in 10 in your favor. So roll a 60 or die. 60 or less, rather, or die.
Okay, done.
Okay. Endurance. This is where the break is. What is your endurance at?
85.
Cool. 50-50. Good luck. Just a little break. Just got to step over it.
0 point. Woo!
Yeah. Turn on
All right,
the
there we
0
go.
point nozzle. Oh, he just kind of hops over it and keeps going. And what your willpower is 20, so it's 100.
19.
19. Oh, you suck. Okay, so 15 in your favor, 65 or less. He
Okay,
just pretty
done.
much just fine, disappears. Right, and Freddie, give me a luck roll. Lower is better. This is the big luck roll here. This is to see how much opposition you get. You made it a little bit better. What?
I'll spend my hero point. There we go.
Not only is the old guy upstairs asleep, but if you want to, you can kick his fucking cat right out that goddamn window into the minefield if you can make a kick at half.
No.
Okay.
Distractions are bad. I go over, grab the book, begin trump calling the Mr. Wallace.
All right, no problem. The cat goes and it dashes upstairs, and by the time you hear and you hear footfalls on the stairs, Mr. Wallace comes into view. You get a trump call, Mr. Wallace. Would you like to answer?
Yep, I will answer it and look for Freddie and pull him through.
There he is, and here he is, and he's got a big fucking obviously spell type book with him and shit. And he's like, yeah, fuck the bulldozer, fuck the halo jumping. I'm going to use the ultimate power in the universe to get an extra piece of treasure. And then he takes the book and he puts it into the safe, and you all sleep on top of it.
All right, now
No.
let's go to number 6's house and have a closer look at this book.
You don't want to go to the explosion room?
No.
Okay. Just thought I'd check. All right. You guys go over to the number 6's house. I almost said the explosion room. And you check out the book. It's the classic grimoire, and it's a spell book on the cover. It's the classic grimoire if made by somebody who animates children's cartoons.
All right, now I'm gonna stare at it for a second, and
Freddie's doing that face going. Would you guys like to make the same face and stare at the book?
is it detect high magic, Logan?
Ooh. Let's see. High magic. No.
Okay. Right. I don't suppose either of you have magic seeing goggles by any chance.
Magic what levels?
Okay, I guess you don't.
Take a card, Mr. Ross.
There are some of us who have magic goggles that allow you to see magic. They're a lot rarer nowadays, though. I wasn't sure if you'd been given a pair or not.
Nobody bought out that one dude who was briefly selling, which shocked me.
Yeah.
I can appraise it by modern 21st century
Yeah.
If,
Go ahead and
if
give
you
me an
want to.
appraisal roll. You take a look at it. Yeah, give you without opening it, you maybe $200 tops.
All right.
You haven't opened it. Could be anything in there, you don't know. Could just be a cutout page with a big bottle of whiskey or whatever. It's a normal size. And by normal size, it's like 4 sheets of paper all together, that kind of size and thicker.
All right, let's open the book and have a look.
No
I
problem.
vaguely remember how this works.
You open the book and it does something different than it did before, Freddie.
Yeah, of course it does.
The weird voice says, I answer no questions, but tell you no lies. Tell me what thing you want, and maybe I'll compromise. Make it too big, and you will suffer. But if it's too small, you'll feel a duffer. Once you 3 your intentions made clear, things may be granted, and I disappear.
I hate you.
Oh man, you even got a
Unicorn's Eye.
What?
Unicorn's Eye. Does it do anything?
Not yet.
We also have to do things as well. It said us 3. So, what should we be asking for?
Probably the same thing, I imagine.